We're going to do a quick LED bulb shootout here. We got our hands on the new VLEDS micro evolution bulbs. And 2Stroke just came out. You got the 2Stroke. You have the generic version of the 2Stroke. I believe it goes by the name of the B6 or the Bullet 6 micro evolution. And the Diode Dynamics SL1 in 9005. We got a Subaru Legacy, internal here. We're going to compare the original bulb just real quick, see what kind of reading we get in the beam pattern, and then we're going to show you how these bulbs work in that beam pattern. All right, so let's start it up with the original. We're going to put the original high beam bulb in there. And one thing to note, you can see these bulbs are most likely made by the same manufacturer. You can see by the way that this is designed, Morimoto, they changed it up a little bit differently. They separated the connector, made it a little bit longer, but you can see the similarities here. So if you want to be real, there's some design tweaks, but most likely coming out of the same origin. And Diode Dynamics, made in the United States, is totally different than the other designs. I do like the metal bases there. And Diode Dynamics has a plastic base. But we're going to look at the original high beam. You got a nice beam pattern there. We'll do a quick lux reading. So we're hitting about the 500 range, depending on exactly where that hotspot is. Ooh, we hit 600 there for a second. So let's say high 500 range, because we are seeing about 580, 590 right into the centralized hotspot. Now with the halogen 9005, you can see it's a very, very tight beam pattern. That's good for distance, it's good for intensity, and that's the difference there. So let's do an LED bulb now. Let's do the new 2Stroke. We can see what's going on there. So we hit about high 500, 600. This is the 2Stroke. You can see the beam pattern is a little bit different. Kind of flares up on the sides. It is a fairly tight beam on the center. And right off the bat, we're seeing very high numbers here. We're at about 900 with the 2Stroke, depending on exactly where it hits. So high 800s, 900 is something that we're seeing there. Let's check out the 2Stroke, the B6, the Bullet 6, which is the generic version. It's actually using different chips. But besides that, the design looks very similar, but it is using a different LED chip, and you can see the color is actually different right off the bat, and we don't expect it to be as bright. So you could see not even an improvement over stock. So the 2Stroke design is definitely a good design there. If we were hitting about 900 lux, this is hitting about 600, so it's about stock. So no improvement with the generic version. Let's see the Diode Dynamics SL1. The SL1 and 2Stroke, we've seen that it's extremely comparable. They are using the same chips. And the design is different, but the performance was very similar. And you can see it's got a very similar beam pattern as well to the 2Stroke. So Diode Dynamics, and boom, we're hitting really over 1,000 there. Hit 1030 in the right spot, so that's pretty impressive. So far, the Diode Dynamics is the brightest one that we've tested, and now let's see the new VLEDS micro evolution bulb. And the one thing that I noticed just briefly playing with the new VLEDS bulb, it's got the loudest fan of them all. There are people that are complaining about the 2Stroke noise and the Diode Dynamics noise, so if you are going to complain about fan noise, the VLEDS is probably the loudest. And the beam pattern looks a little different on this one. It does have a fairly good concentration, but It's not as, it's a little bit different. Let's see what kind of readings we're getting from the VLEDS bulbs. Let's move that around just a little bit to make sure we're not doing anything wrong here, but that's not what I was expecting. It's hitting about 600, so that's stock levels. Not the greatest bulb here out of the bunch, sadly. Was hoping for a little bit better. So if you're looking for a LED bulb at this time, the 2Stroke 2.0 and the Diode Dynamics SL1 is going to be your top choices. The other bulbs are good, but they're not providing a good increase over stock. As far as color is concerned, it's pretty good, but in this particular application, it did not fare so well. Now, it's possible in a different application it's going to work better, and this is just a little bit of the fan noise generated from the micro evolution bulb. So to me that's pretty loud. But overall, I would say the other options I mentioned are a little bit better. If you guys have any questions, email us, leave a comment here. We'll be happy to talk to you or discuss anything that you'd like to see. Thanks again.